Thank you, Alison. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to immediately invite my panel members up onto the stage, please. I will introduce them once they're up here, but come up, chaps, please. There are mics. And take a seat, and then I'll know where I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit over there then. So, going from my left to my right, Robert Schaffner from Mediengruppen RTL, thank you, who also sits on the board of EGTA, which is the German television audience measurement JIC. Adam Hirscher from YouTube Google, and Julia Rosanvallon from Médiamétrie. I'm going to speak for a few minutes and then we'll open up the discussion. I should explain EGTA, the organization that I represent, is a trade body. It's a trade body of European commercial television broadcasters, though it has an increasingly wider definition of Europe to include people from other continents as well. And my background is in television. And I first came to ICOM in 2011 to Estoril, and when I arrived, and indeed in sessions like this, people, I think not meaning to be unkind, would say to me, "But why are you here? This is an internet conference. Oh, and by the way, I thought television was dead." But 7 years later, I'm not dead. It's certainly not dead. And the conference theme, in a sense, has widened. It's multi-screen that we're talking about, but I'm going to go back a bit to the era of the single screen, which effectively was a television set in people's homes. And though measurement of it was complex, and I speak from decades of experience of involvement in that, there was not a great debate necessarily about how to measure it, because there was a model which became worldwide, the panel, these metered panel. And that served the industry very well for many years, but of course the world moved on, the world changed. And it wasn't the internet itself that brought about the requirement for change, because if people are viewing via the internet on a television set, measurement systems can still manage that. But what digital brought was a multiplicity of channels, which obviously fragmented the audience. And then, of course, the world changed again, and there were multiple screens. So rather than television, and I will now elide from television into audiovisual, whilst audiovisual is far from dead. Indeed, there are more screens and more sorts, and I can see some of them as I'm speaking to you now. But that has made measurement more and more complex. The theoretical option of just increasing panel sizes would never have met the need, because A, there's not enough money in the world, B, there are not enough arguably compliant respondents, should be panel members, but in any case there are some statistical facts of life which run against it. On the other hand, internet delivery provides various kinds of return path data, and so the option exists to develop a new measurement system, which we call the hybrid. I know it sometimes gets used for other words, to describe the integration of panel data with return path data, and thus benefiting from the advantages that both bring. And this has been the theme of this session in ICOM conferences for at least the last 3 or 4 conferences, where we've talked about the work that's been going on in a number of countries to move from a traditional television audience measurement system to a hybrid audiovisual audience measurement system. It's taken longer than I think anybody originally thought 4, 5, 6 years ago when we started down this road, for a number of reasons. It proved more complicated than anyone ever thought. The world itself, the environment kept changing. There were new devices, new gizmos, new whatevers. And I know there's been quite a lot of it in the last few days, questions about the quality of the return path data of any sort. But it's virtually there now, and I'll ask my colleagues on my right about that in a few minutes. But obviously, the world has changed in any case, because television broadcasters, content providers of our sort, are by far not the only people in the audiovisual arena anymore, because there are organizations like Adams and others. And so that raises a whole series of questions about the future. So I will start, but if I may, I will start first of all with Robert, if I may, and then maybe Julian, and then come back to Adam. Whether there's anything you want to say about where we are with the hybrid in Germany, in France. Robert?
Well, to be frank,